As some of you guys might know, I've been playing a lot of Marvel Rivals recently, and that started a discussion in my family. What would a Disney version look like? So in this video, I'm going to be giving my pitch for how we would make a Disney Rivals video game. And for this, we're not just going to be using Disney, we're also going to be using some Pixar characters. And to be honest, I think Star Wars can be its own video game, so let me know if you guys would want to see something like that. So we sat down and put together a list of characters and their roles. Marvel Rivals had 33 characters on release, so we will be going with that number. Something that we will be changing is the number of characters in those roles. Like in Marvel Rivals, there's so many DPS characters and no healers. But anyways, to simplify, we're going to be calling them DPS for the damage dealing heroes, healers for the support style heroes, and then tanks for the bulky, get in your face style heroes. But to start off, let's start with the DPS heroes. And of course, we gotta start with Mr. Disney himself, Mickey Mouse. I believe he should be wearing his Sorcerer Apprentice look, wielding the iconic wand of Yinsid. And I think it would be a cool idea for him to be shooting out little Mickey head symbols out of his wand, and for his ultimate attack, he could wave his wand and cause a big Mickey head to appear, and then start to expand and explode. Next, we chose Rapunzel from the movie Tangled. She could be a quick moving character and use her hair to swing from place to place. And also, she could use her frying pan as her main attack. And for her ultimate attack, she could use her song where she wraps her hair around some characters and heals them. I know we said DPS character, but she could be one of those hybrid characters that DPSs but also dips her toes into healing. In every one of these hero shooter type games, there's always an archer. And who better to do that in the Disney universe but a Scottish arrow slinger herself, Merida. And her kit could be pretty straightforward. Aim arrow, shoot arrow. It could be fun if her ultimate attack could be her shooting a large bear at a field. Alright, with all these characters fighting on the ground, we need a character that is air support. Even though I hate when people just fly around and drop bombs with Iron Man. But I think a cool character would have to be Buzz Lightyear. And with him falling with style all over the place could be fun. His main attack could be his laser, with his ultimate be him flying around dropping toys that explode. One character that I love in the Disney universe and might be my favorite Disney villain is Dr. Facilier. He would be such an interesting character for this game because he would use magic as his attack, and his ultimate could be him calling his friends from the other side. And as they come up and even drag characters away. Another character that I would love to see in this game is Mufasa. From Lion King. He would have to be a melee type character with a bite attack and his ultimate being a huge lion roar. The next character actually caused a little bit of an argument in my house, with that character being Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. It caused an argument because my dad believed that he should be a tank because he's supposed to be indestructible. But my sister, who is a huge Stitch fan, says he isn't big enough and should be a DPS. So because my dad gives in to her, Stitch is now a DPS on this list. His attack could be his little ray gun he uses in the show, and his ultimate attack could be him doing a huge blast from it. Another fun character for DPS, and this would be a dive type character, would be Tigger. I can imagine him bouncing around with huge bounces, getting into the back line. His attack could be him throwing rocks or something, and his ultimate could be him doing a huge bounce and doing an insane amount of damage. The next one is the one, if they would make a game like this, she would have to be in it, and she would have to be DPS, with that being Mulan. Her main attack could be her with her sword and her just swinging it around, and her ultimate attack could be her shooting off a rocket. And I also think it would be cool to see Mushu riding that rocket, or having him be involved at all in the game would be kind of cool. One of the most overlooked movies in the Disney universe is Raya and the Last Dragon. And with that being said, I think that she fits this game perfectly. And I think her main attack could be her chain sword and her martial arts. And a cool idea that I thought of would be her ultimate, her calling in Tuk Tuk and riding him around the area, doing damage to all the characters nearby. Alright, and for our last DPS, and I'm surprised that I didn't think of him earlier, is Tarzan. He could be the annoying Spider-Man type character where he swings in and annoys the heck out of everybody and then swings out. His ultimate attack could be him doing a huge swing up and landing, doing lots of damage. Up next, let's do healers. Everyone's least favorite characters to play, well, at least in ranked. And let's start with somebody from my family's favorite Disney movie, Moana. And I know she can't create water, but she's friends with the ocean, so she could use it to heal, and her attack could be her throwing her oar like a spear. And her ultimate could be a huge wave that heals the allies and damages the foes. The next one is pretty much stolen from Rivals, and it's Elsa, where her ice can heal and also damage. And her ultimate can be her calling on the big snow monster to come and do damage to other characters. And I know she's pretty much just Luna Snow, but Disney, but we had to make it work somehow. Alright, I don't know how this one works, but my dad made me put it on here because he's in love with the voice actress, so Mirabelle from Encanto. I think that her cheery disposition makes her right for a healer. Her main healing ability could be her singing that will heal nearby allies. And her ultimate could be her placing down the candle to revive knocked out characters. There it is. That's how she fits. She's the reviver. their dad, she's in here. And maybe they'll get the same girl to do the voice for her again. And maybe now you will finally be a healer. Next character is someone who I think is more of a support than a healer, with that being Miguel from Coco. He could use his guitar to inspire and even shoot music notes. And his ultimate can be him playing a song and healing people around him, kind of like Lucio or Luna Snozzle. I mean, if it ain't broke, why fix it, right? Now for this next one, we have a fun one because she has the ability to have a great kit, with that being Tiana from Princess and the Frog. She can throw food and heal others, and when things get bad, she can transform into a frog and hop around, kind of like Cloak and Dagger. And while she's a frog, she can do damage by spitting. And for her ultimate, she can make a big pot of gumbo and it could heal everyone around. And I think an interesting pick would have to be the Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland. And I actually debated between him and the Mad Hatter for this one, but I think he would be a little bit more interesting to have a character that can disappear and reappear. And for his ultimate, he could be semi-visible and open his mouth and a stream of cardmen come out. And you know, if we're gonna have Mickey, we have to have his other half, Minnie. She could throw little bows as her attack and heals, and it could also double as her heals. And as for her ultimate attack, it could be a huge big bow that ties everyone up together, kind of like Groot's ultimate attack. And for our next one, we have Wally. And he could be an interesting character because he could go up picking up some things like healing packs and throwing them around. And I could see this maybe being broken in some situations. And his ultimate could be him and Eve doing their dance in the area as it heals his allies and hurting enemies. And another one that I thought of, and I figured it would be cool, would be Remy from Ratatouille. And of course he would have to have a bigger hitbox, but he could go around throwing ingredients at players to heal them. And his ultimate attack could be him jumping on an enemy and controlling them. Another one that would have to have a bigger hitbox somehow is Tinkerbell. She could be a healer version of the Flyer, throwing pixie dust to heal. And her ultimate attack could be her throwing pixie dust as it heals everyone and also makes the allies fly. And I think for the enemies, it would be a cool idea for them to also be flying, but they have less control of it, so they're just flying up in the air, not able to do anything. And for the last healer is someone we all knew had to be in this game, and I think she would be great as a healer because it's so out of character, but it also fits her skill set pretty well, with that character being Maleficent. She would be able to heal with her magic and do damage with it. She could also be the character to put people to sleep, and her ultimate could be her transforming into her dragon form and do a huge fire blast. Okay, healers are done. Now comes the fun one, where everyone kind of plays the same because they're all just kind of big and beefy, the tanks. First off is one, if I didn't put on this list, my dad and probably my whole entire family would 100% unsubscribe from my channel. And with that character being Genie from Aladdin. And we put him on here as a tank because he's a big and powerful guy.
Phenomenal cosmic powers!
And his main attack can be him throwing magic at people. And for his ultimate attack, and I think this would be 100% broken and everyone would probably get mad at this ult, but he can give a full ult charge to another player. So this could end up being crazy because after you pop your ult, then Genie could pop his and you could get your ult back and do twice the damage. Next on this beefy guy list is Beast from Beauty and the Beast. And he would play it like most, and his ultimate could be a huge roar or a huge swipe of his claws. Another character is Ralph from Wreck-It Ralph. His main attack could be him doing what he does best and wrecking things. And his ultimate could be him throwing a huge barrel. Another one on this list, and he won't play exactly like the other tanks, is Goofy. Hear me out. In Kingdom Hearts, he was a shield warrior. So as a callback to that game, Goofy is the tank. And as his main attack, he could throw his shield, and as his ultimate, he could just go running around with his shield. And as a fun little detail for this character, when he dies, he should have the iconic Goofy falling sound effect. Okay, this video is getting pretty long, and I need sleep desperately. And like I said, these tanks play mostly the same, so I'm just going to list the characters that I have as tanks that would just be smashing and wrecking things. And in the comments, you guys could suggest the ultimates for them. So here they are. We have Mr. Incredible, Sully, Hercules, Maui, and Oogie Boogie. I have two more tanks that would play a little bit more differently than the regular tanks. First is Donald Duck. And if you know his backstory, you know he is a World War II vet, so he's been through some stuff. And he would be the guy who just doesn't stop. And his ultimate can be him going nutso crazy, doing lots of extra damage. Lastly is the lovable Pooh Bear. He could just be fun because he could just be eating a honey pot and gain back his health and throw or shoot bees out of his mouth as a attack. And I think his ultimate could be him throwing a huge honey pot and it sticks to everyone around it. Okay, and that is my list of characters for Disney rivals. And I think this game could have some fun voice lines and interactions. Like, I'd love to see Genie and the Cheshire Cat talk to each other, because I think that personally would just be hilarious. And I'm sure Disney could get some of the voice actors to come back for this video game. But unfortunately, we won't be able to get some of the greats like Robin Williams and James Earl Jones. But I'm sure The Rock, Keith David, Mandy Moore, and John Goodman would come back just for the fun of it. And yes, Dad, if they call me to ask for my opinion, I will tell them to get Stephanie Trias to come back too. So you could officially like the video now. And that concludes my pitch for Disney Rivals. And now that I've given you my opinions, tell me yours in the comment section below. And if you'd like to hear other rival type games in other universes, please put them in the comment section below. And maybe we will make a list of characters for that game. But anyways, that's it for today's video. Now it's time for your homework. On to subscribe, smack that like button. I'll be landing back with my next video. Bye. He won his wave. That's not how you say that. And of course, we gotta start with Mr. Disney himself.
And of course, we need to start with Mr. Disney himself, Mickey Mouse.
Oh, you did it.
Yeah.
And he would be a Dave type character. One of the most overlooked. Oh wait, I did that part. And it could also